Hey Laowinners, this is Laowinners here with another video. I am on the streets of Asia, and I wanted to talk about something that is very much a thing that happened to me, and probably a thing that would happen to you if you moved abroad. But maybe it depends on what country you moved to or went to. Now, I have a theory that your Chinese or language skills in general, so this can apply to any expats abroad, will actually deteriorate or just stop improving altogether. Now, what do I mean by that? So when you first move to Asia or China, let's just use China as an example. If you move to China, you will be constantly praised over and over and over again by your use of the word ni hao. Literally, learning to say hello is enough to make people really impressed with your language skills, and it kind of gives you this bizarre self-confidence. So my first theory about why your language skills will probably stop improving is because your normal everyday circumstance and normal everyday conversations with people are probably actually limited to very, very simple phrases. And I actually don't mean that in your country of choice, I mean the country you even come from. Think about this. When you go out and you buy a hamburger, when you go out to the supermarket, when you go out to do basic things, how often do you have very in-depth conversations about varied topics? Or is it more like you go out and say, I would like one of these, thank you very much, how's your day? It's usually normal, simple conversations, and that kind of has to do with the fact that as human beings, when we go out and socialize, we're not actually super apt to go out and try to start massive conversations with random people. Compound this with the fact that I think most human beings are a little bit scared or embarrassed to make mistakes. I think it's only natural to want to save face and not be the kind of idiot that sounds stupid or like a child when he's trying to speak a foreign language. And also compound this with the fact that you're in a completely foreign country, and your kind of context or realization of how things work might be a lot different than what you're used to back home, or the habits that you had back home. Next are the kind of repeated conversations that you're gonna have with the locals. So every day you go to the same shop. Let's say I go to the shop here every single day, and I see the same person every day, right? You'll have that same conversation so many times that you will eventually sound fluent in that conversation. So maybe you don't know how to talk about, your likes and dislikes, but you do know how to say, today the weather was great. 今天的天气非常好, right? And you say it so many times that you become so fluent at that statement that people kind of expect that you speak fluent Chinese. So instead of them kind of taking it slow with you, eventually they're going to start going, wow, this guy's fluent in Chinese, and just start spouting things at you while you nod stupidly and say, 对对对对对对.
对 means yes.
What's this?
Papaya milk.
Papaya milk. That's really good. That's delicious. And there's pork knuckles over there as well. I should just call them pig's feet, though, because that's what they are. Knuckles sounds so much less threatening than pig's feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Knuckle sounds like more bone.
You know, one time in Taiwan, I actually saw Hitler's pig's feet. It was literally Hitler brand pig's feet, because they thought it was like a funny German kind of play on words. You wouldn't be able to get away with that at home. So these repeated exchanges with people over and over again will kind of like, especially all this praise you're getting, will kind of boost your confidence to a point where you actually think you're better at Chinese or at whatever language you're learning than you actually are. So instead of going to the fruit seller and talking about the price of apples, it might go a lot deeper than that, right? So you have to be aware that this kind of blow to your confidence when you don't understand something, or someone kind of disappointed because they can't have a conversation with you, can lead to you kind of hiding from the fact that you should probably get out there more, make the mistakes, and put in the effort to study more as well. Another perspective, at least for me, and I think Vivi would agree, she probably doesn't understand this because she grew up being able to read Chinese characters, right? Every day, she went to school, she practiced strokes, and it took a lot of effort. It's not like us learning the alphabet, right? So was it difficult to learn Chinese characters?
It's pretty hard.
And what made it hard?
Because you need to remember, like every character, like for example, the English, it's like just A is like one stroke, and then B, and just like this. And every single Chinese character, you need to do a lot of like completely.
Right.
If you are missing one or that, probably you will accidentally change another meaning.
Right.
So you need to, like for example, one word, for example, cow. You need to practice for like 1,000 times so that you're not gonna make a mistake, become a noon.
Yeah, exactly. So what am I getting at here? This is probably the worst kind of caveat, or the worst barrier to improving at Chinese, or maybe any language that requires characters like Japanese, is the fact that characters are so foreboding, they're so complex and so difficult to learn. But let's say you do learn them. Let's say you learn them one by one and you're putting in all your effort. The problem is, if you go to Mexico and you don't speak Spanish, but you're a native English speaker, at least you can read signs. So, for example, if the sign says something you completely don't understand, at least you can sound it out, and through context, maybe over time you will get to know what that means. So, of course, it's not as efficient to walk around and just start reading newspapers you can't read or signs you can't read, but what is efficient is all that passive learning you're doing just by reading stuff around you, right? Now, in China, or in a Chinese-speaking country, or in Japan, you're walking around and you're not seeing those letters that you can potentially understand. You're looking at characters that mean nothing, and those will not gradually absorb into your brain because they're not in the Latin alphabet, right? So this whole kind of, this absent part of language learning, passive language learning through reading, is completely gone. So the fact that there's 30,000 characters out there and you probably are going to be learning them very, very slowly means that you can't learn through context, and you have a ton of work ahead of you if you want to be able to read. So to me, that slows down language learning ability massively. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. At the end of the day, you will probably, if you are one of the small percentage of people that really puts in the effort, you'll probably pull it up. And it's actually ultimately super rewarding to learn a different language, especially Chinese, if you choose to live in China or Hong Kong or Taiwan or wherever people can actually use the language. And I think it's really, really cool, and I think it expands your mind and it helps you look at things in different ways.
First off, I want to address something that people have asked me countless times over and over again. I've done videos on how I learn Chinese, but this is going to be targeting all of you about how to learn any language. This is so I don't have to answer all these emails anymore, and you guys can actually learn how I learn Chinese, and you can maybe put it towards any language that you want to learn, no matter where you are. You don't have to be in said country. So this is what I did. The most important thing is to find a language partner. So a native speaker of whatever language that you're using, and have weekly or twice weekly sit-down conversations only in Chinese or whatever language you're learning. And I found that paying someone is a lot better than just getting a freebie, because they're kind of beholden to continue to teach you. Anyway, try and tell stories about your life and your day. And when you don't know a word, have the partner teach it to you, add it to your flashcard tech, go back the next conversation or lesson that you have and have the exact same conversation, practicing the words that you learned and didn't know before. Now you have a new conversation, and you rinse and repeat. Keep doing that over and over again. Tell stories from your daily life, tell stories from maybe your past. And this got me to fluency so much faster than any other method, because the reason is you're learning things that you're actually going to say in your own language. So your brain attaches real and true meaning to those words. It's not some non-relatable textbook that someone else wrote. So I found that this method was super, super good. I had multiple language partners throughout China, but my fluency really blew up and increased when I got that language partner, sat down, had that conversation, wrote down the words I didn't know, studied them the next day, brought them back to the next lesson, and then now it's attached to real meaning in my brain. Hopefully that helps you guys out.
So I hope you appreciated this video. If you did, go downstairs, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. And if you want more videos like this and you want to see the stuff I can't really talk about in these videos sometimes, go to patreon.com/Laowinners. I want to say thank you so much to Laowinners, and I'll catch you
on the next one.
Hey guys, wanted to give you a quick update on the nose situation. So basically what happened was Olivia butt stomped me in the last video. You saw the broken nose thing. She butt stomped me when I was laying on the bed, and she sat up and I was laying on the bed and she just landed on my nose. And that was a little while ago, but anyway, everything's all healed up. And instead of actually going to the doctor, Vivi and I sat in the bathroom for a little while as we clicked it back into place, and it took exactly 3 clicks. And it looks like it's fairly straight. This nostril's a little bigger than the other one, but I can breathe now, and everything seems okay. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. And another thing that's about to happen is I'm about to head to the hospital so my wife can give birth to our next child. Wish us luck. Why am I in the cold? Anyway, thank you so much for watching, Laowinners. Click down below if you want to see another Laowinners video. New Laowinners video every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST. Top right corner, you can watch an ADVChina video, 1 p.m. EST every single Monday. And right below that, a new SerpentZA video every single Friday at 1 p.m. EST. Thanks.